welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about this look right here. And I guess I would kind of call it my everyday makeup routine slash get ready with me every day. Disclaimer, I don't wear makeup every day. I actually go weeks without wearing makeup just because I feel like I don't need to put makeup on an everyday basis. But if I do decide that I want to get ready, or if I have an event to go to or an occasion, this is the look that I usually try to aim for. I generally keep it at a neutral standpoint when it comes to my makeup just because my hair is such a bright red color. I don't want to draw so much attention to myself just because the hair is already so bright that I already draw enough attention to myself. I don't want to draw any more. But depending on the event or the occasion, I will either switch up the lip or darken the eyes. It really honestly just depends on how I'm feeling or where I'm going. As well as giving you guys an everyday makeup tutorial, I am kind of showing you like a little bit of a foundation routine as well. Just because every time I do my makeup, I do try to achieve a flawless face. So you'll see all the products that I use for my skin and how I kind of get my face to have that flawless airbrushed look. All the products that I will be using are going to be listed in the video, but just in case you don't want to rewind and go back to see what products I am using, everything will be listed on the bottom bar below. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys would subscribe to me. I am a makeup artist, so this channel is really important for me to kind of get my knowledge out there and to just share with you guys all the things that are important to me when doing makeup. So without further ado, if you'd like to see how I got this look for every day, then please keep on watching.
Okay, so first things first, I am just clipping back my hair with this little clip that I'm pretty sure I got from CVS, just to make sure that for this portion of the video, since I am starting with my foundation routine, that all of my hair is out of my face. Now I'm going to take my beauty sponge. This is the Real Techniques beauty sponge, and I'm just dampening it with some of MAC's Fix Plus, as well as dampening my face with the Fix Plus as well. This is just going to help prep my skin for foundation. Next, I am taking my Maybelline Fit Me Shine Free and Balanced Stick Foundation. I am in the color 330 Toffee. I like to use this just to create a nice base for my foundation to stick to. And I just use my damp beauty sponge to just buff that out. So now I'm going in with my foundation, and the foundation that I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. I absolutely love this foundation. I am in the color 330 Toffee, and I'm just going to be dotting that around my face straight from the pump, and then I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just blend that all out. The one thing that I really do like about this foundation is the longevity of it. Whether I'm wearing it for 6 hours, for 12 hours, running errands, or going to a special event, this foundation never fails to keep me matte and just stays put all day without me having to reapply, powder, or even touch up. After I blended all the foundation out, I'm now going to move on to concealer, and the concealer I'm using is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the color Golden. I mainly use this underneath my eyes for a little bit of a highlight, since this is the perfect shade compared to my foundation. So I just draw a triangle on both sides and I blend that out with my beauty sponge. I really love this concealer for underneath the eyes. I just feel like it covers up my dark circles as well as adds a little bit of highlight to make them look brighter and more awake. I always blend the concealer onto my eyelids as well because I find that it acts as a good eyeshadow primer. Also, whatever is left on the beauty sponge, I usually will blend that onto my forehead, nose, and upper lip. I'm just adding a little bit more concealer right underneath my eyes for some extra coverage because I feel like I blended a little too much. So after I blended all the concealer out, I am now going to set underneath my eyes with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the color Medium Deep. I like to put this underneath my eyes as well as on my T-zone, kind of like a baking effect, except I don't use a white translucent powder. I feel like whatever one I use, I always get flashback, and I don't really like that. I used to use the RCMA powder, but then I switched to the Maybelline because I felt like that it was giving me more coverage and less flashback.
Every day, and now I'm gonna change my ways, and it's a part of you I never wanna lose.
Now I'm taking a Morphe brush, and I'm not exactly sure what Morphe brush it is, but I do know that it's a part of their 18-piece vegan set, and I'm just taking that same loose finishing powder and I'm dusting that all over my face to ensure that my whole face is set and is not sticky. Next, I am grabbing my favorite bronzer, and the bronzer that I'm going to be using to contour is the NARS Laguna bronzer. And I'm taking that on a deluxe angled brush by Morphe. This is part of their Complexion Goals set. And I usually just like to contour around the perimeters of my face, so I start on my cheekbones, then I work to my forehead, as well as my jawline.
Let's make it sense to me. When I close my eyes, you're the one I see. There's no other way I can ever be without you, babe.
Now I'm taking that same NARS Laguna bronzer with a Sedona Lace EB15 pointed crease brush. This brush is really great for nose contouring. I don't like to do a full sculpted nose, but I do like to do a little bit of contouring just to make my nose look a little bit more defined and pointy at the bottom.
I'll be thinking about you. I'll be thinking about you.
Next is time for blush, and the blush that I'm going to be using is MAC's Gingerly, and the brush that I'm going to be using is the Morphe Pointed Contour Brush, I believe, from the Complexion Goals set. I know it's made for contour, but I just really love to use it for my blush just because I feel like it gives me that really nice airbrush flush to my cheeks. So once I'm all done with my face, I usually do my eyebrows next, and I tried to do my eyebrows on camera, but it just was not working out for me. My face would not stay in the frame, so I'm sorry about that. And now I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel just to set my brows in place and make sure that they do not move for the rest of the day. So now moving on to eyeshadow, and the eyeshadow palette I will be using today is this one by MAC. It is one of their 15 color preset palettes. This one is in warm neutral, and I usually only use 4 colors out of the palette, and the first color that I always start with is Saddle. It's a really pretty golden orange brown matte color that I always use as my transition shade. And I just blend that into my crease using a Morphe M531 brush. Now I'm going to be taking the darkest shadow in the palette called Dance in the Dark. It's a really nice dark brown matte shadow that I like to put on the outer corner of my eye, just to add a little bit more definition in my crease. And the brush I'm going to be using to pack that on is the Sephora Pro All Over Shadow Brush in number 12. Then I'm going to be taking that same Morphe brush I used before to blend the transition shade into my crease to make sure that everything is blended and smooth and there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going to be taking my MAC 217 blending brush with the color Dark Brew, and I'm going to be focusing that on my outer corners just like the other color, because obviously if you can't tell, I do love an outer smoky eye. So I'm going to be taking this color and then blending it into my crease with that same Morphe brush. This color is a really nice deep chocolate color, but it does have shimmer in it as well as a pink rosy undertone, which is what I like about it. As for my lid, I usually like to stick with a color in the same palette just to kind of keep things all together, but today I felt like using this Milani single eyeshadow in the color Beach Sand. When it comes to applying a shimmery eyeshadow, I usually always like to use my finger just because I feel like it packs on the color more and I get less fallout. Now with a MAC 263 small angle brush, I'm going to be taking the color Dance in the Dark and I'm going to create an eyeliner effect on my outer lash line, just because personally I feel like using a liquid liner is too much for every day, nor do I have the time to apply it on an everyday basis. Then using my MAC 219 pencil brush, I'm just going to be intensifying the color as well as blending it out. Next, I'm going to be taking that same small angle brush and I'm going to use that to place the color Dance in the Dark across my lower lash line. Then with my MAC 217 blending brush, I'm going to be taking the color Dark Brew and blending that across my lower lash line as well. Since I don't like to use liquid liner for every day, I do like to tightline my upper waterline with Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the color Perversion. Moving on to lashes, I don't wear fake lashes every day, so when I'm not, I always use my all-time favorite mascara, and it is called Le Volume de Chanel. Since I started using this mascara, it has been the only mascara I need to use in my routine because it gets my lashes to their longest and fullest point. Now I'm going to take that same Urban Decay liner and I'm going to put that on my lower waterline and then use my MAC 219 pencil brush and the color Dance in the Dark to smudge that out. After I do that, I'm going to use that same mascara I used before and I'm going to put that on my lower lashes. Next, I'm taking my Laura Geller highlighter in Gilded Honey with an M510 Morphe brush, and I'm just placing this on the tops of my cheekbones, forehead, and Cupid's bow. Then with a MAC 242 shader brush, I'm going to place the highlighter on my brow bone and inner corner. Last but not least, it is time for lips, and the lip duo I'm going to be using today is MAC's Lip Liner in Plum and Lipstick in Clouds in My Coffee. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I can't wait to see you again in my next video. Bye guys!